Good morning to everyone. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday. Glad to be back. I missed, you don't even realize how much you miss the Saturday mornings until you're anticipating it. I was up this morning at 6 o'clock, excited about this call just because I kind of miss your community or your tribe, as I heard it called. I mean, so many different ways it's been described, and just excited about our guest this morning and the things that we're going to talk about. Obviously, I mean, what can I say? We've got the president. I guess what's your title, Kristine? I'm not sure what.
North American General Manager.
North American
Kristine
General
McKay.
Manager. She's the boss. That's what I call it. And more than that, she is an incredible getting things accomplished. I mean, she's always returning calls, making messages. I mean, when I need Kristine, she apologizes when she doesn't get back to me quick enough. It amazes me. So, Kristine, we're so glad to have you on. And obviously we have Cindy Landis going to be with us first. And Todd, I don't know which order you wanted to do this in. I know you had, Cindy is my personal, and he told me we're having Cindy on. I saw it on the brochure. So tell me what, you want to start with Cindy?
Yeah, we're going to use Cindy. Cindy may have some questions from people at the end about what she's done to look so great at 51 years old. So let's start with Kristine McKay. And Kristine, we all have told you already, but I've been in the industry for 20 years, and I told you personally yesterday that you're the best general manager of a country I've ever worked with. You say things and you follow through, and that's not easy to do when you're dealing with so many different people asking you for stuff. So we do appreciate you, but we want kind of a state of the company from you this morning. We want to know everything that's going on, and specifically, if you can for us, go through all 3 vacations that are coming up. I'm getting a lot of questions on Costa Rica because I know it's coming up really soon. We want an update on the Utah trip for all the new people to win. And then for all the go-getters, we want them to go to Tahiti. So we want to know about the Tahiti trip. And then I'll come back and remind you. But then we want to go into Shop Live and just make sure everybody's utilizing that correctly.
Awesome.
Kristine, fire away.
Awesome. And Todd, I just have to tell you, I just appreciate you so much. And the message you sent yesterday was just fabulous. And I told you, I said, if you're not careful, you're going to give me an ego. But I will tell you that I did play that message for my son so that he knew that someone thought I was cool. So he laughed. So today, I want to go over some of the cool things that we've got going on in the trips and the live shopping. But, as I was thinking this morning about what I wanted to share, every single item all came back to one word. And Chris has already dropped that word this morning, and that is community. And I have been so unbelievably overwhelmed by our community just the last few weeks. I always have been. But the power of the community is that is the key, and that is the magic. And especially with these trips and these, qualification events, it is the community and getting people there and getting them to feel a part of what we get to participate in. And it really is, it's magical. So I wanted to just start by sharing just a couple experiences that I've had over the week that have really brought that home to me. You guys have knocked the Renew 28-day challenge out of the park. And I will go to the Level Up page and I read about, the testimonials and the videos that people are dropping. And it is so magical to me because if you break it down, the 28-day challenge started out as a flyer. It's a flyer, it's a piece of paper, it's something on the app. It was a piece of paper until every single one of you breathed life into it. And you brought it to life and you made something incredible out of it that so many people are jumping on board with. And so as we talk about some of these things that corporate is putting together, I want you to know that it is simply a piece of paper. It's a PDF until you bring the life to it. And so it really just truly has been so fun to see that over the last week. So as far as some of the trips that we have coming up, the next one that is coming up is the Costa Rica trip. And this is based on the power ranking. I know we've had a lot of questions about power ranking and about how that works. And I'm not going to go through the training today, but Cam and I sat down on Friday or yesterday, and we are going to put together something, a training that is going to go over exactly what the power ranking is. But this is just a really cool opportunity to recognize people that maybe you're not the top leader in the company. Maybe you're not the biggest, money earner, but you are great at retention. You are great at recruiting. You are great at leadership. It's a way that we can take those things and complete kind of this overall scorecard, if you will. And it was funny because I was talking to Cam and I was like, how is this, thought of? How did you guys come up with this? And it was literally from looking at athletic, like the NBA and their drafts and their scorecards and how they put that together. And so it was kind of fascinating to learn that. So the Costa Rica trip is June 8th through the 12th. We're getting really close. In fact, we probably already, know the top 10 or 15 are kind of locked in over the next few days. But there are a few spots in our from 25 to 30 that it's up for grab. So I'm really excited. And this trip really,
Kristine, can I add one thing there? For anybody out there, because this is the number one question I was getting throughout the week from multiple people, of Sonia and Finger, others. When you look at your power rankings inside of your back office, if you're top 100 in region right now, North America, you really have a shot. And the reason is because the algorithm picks up 5 things, but about 50% of it is on new growth and sponsorship. So it is really actually skewed not for Chris Doyle to win it. It is skewed for somebody that joined a couple of months ago that has, because remember, new growth that's competing against zero is way better than new growth competing against a good year last year. So, and then when you personally sponsor, if you sponsor a member with 200 points, it gives you some gain in the algorithm. But if you start sponsoring some ultimates, man, it'll spit you up like you cannot believe. You'll start gaining 15, 20, 25. So I think Sonia was like at 40, maybe she was like at 61. And Ken Bailey knows this algorithm better than anybody. So Ken said probably 5 to 7 ultimate sponsorships would kick her into the top 30. So anybody out there sitting there thinking, I can't make Costa Rica, it is not out of your fingertips. I mean, John and Antoinette Ramsey, heck, they're like top 10. And I mean, they're brand new in our company. They just have sponsored a whole bunch of people. So anyway, sorry to interrupt you, Kristine. I just want to make sure everyone knows that this is a real shot for anybody to go on this trip.
Absolutely. And, I think one of the things I'm really excited about this trip really is going to be all about team building. There's not going to be a lot of formal meetings, and it is going to be one-on-ones and giving us all a chance to get to know each other and to collaborate. And so I'm really excited about that trip. And I'm so thrilled to see some new and familiar faces on this trip that I can get to know better. So Costa Rica is the next one that's coming up. And then I want to just kind of talk about, we've got the Utah Ultimate Experience, we have Tahiti, and we have North America. So let's talk about the next one coming up after Costa Rica. And that would be in August, and that is the North America event in Orlando. Now, early bird tickets go on sale on Monday. And I would just really ask, and I just have such a desire for every single one of you to be there. And not only for you to be there, but for you to bring your team members and especially your new brand partners. And I realize it's a sacrifice of time. It is a sacrifice of money, but it is going to be so well worth that sacrifice. Now, if you were on Monday's call, you kind of heard me talk about the location. Because we do realize this is a sacrifice, we wanted to make sure that you are getting the most out of this experience. So we picked a venue that Yes, we're going to have 2 or 3 days of super powerful meetings and speakers, and we'll start releasing that as we go along. But the event and the venue itself, you have the opportunity to go. We've reserved the rate. Some of these rooms are anywhere. I'll go back and check the app, and I've seen them go as high as $600. We have negotiated a rate of $179. Unheard of. And not only did we negotiate that for the event, but because I did realize that you guys are taking your time and effort to be there, we extended that 3 days before the event and 3 days after. So that means that you can bring your family, you can enjoy the time and have a powerful 3 days together with the team. So we're going to give more details with that as we come along. But once again, Chris, Todd, just really quickly, how important are these events to build community and confidence?
Well, I don't think you can put a price tag on it, Kristine. I wouldn't be sitting here today on this Saturday morning Zoom had it not been for my first event. So people don't understand that you build from event to event. And I know that Todd knows that. We have Coach Palmer with us. I think we all talk so much about what does events mean. There's no way that we can put it into words. I can only assure you those who attend events are the ones who build businesses, and the ones who get their teams there are the ones who build businesses. Todd instilled that on me 20 years ago.
Yeah, Chris, I've said this for many, many years, is that if you have any desire to create a lasting residual income in network marketing, the question is never, am I going to go to the convention? The question is always, how many people on my team am I bringing with me to the convention? Because there's nothing we can ever do in a small environment to get people to understand the vastness of what we have our hands on. So they have to walk into that big meeting room in Orlando, see the top earners from Canada and the United States and Mexico, and possibly some that fly over from Europe. And you just all becomes real, like, oh my goodness, these are real people with normal lives, normal occupations that are changing their life. Here are the doctors and the products. So I encourage you, when this event goes live on Monday, not just to get your own ticket done, but start getting people there. And for the first time in 2 years, the Canadian border's open. And Kristine, I think I heard you say on the Partners Council is that this one, because of the event space, you don't have the ability to expand. So this is one that maybe for the first time in 2 years, it's going to sell out. So don't get left behind on this.
Yeah, we are just thrilled. And you're right. There is limited spacing. The early bird tickets will be up for, I believe it's 2 weeks, and we will not be able to extend that. So I really encourage all of you to be there. And once again, it goes back to community and building that. So that event is the next one that's coming up in August. And then of course we have Tahiti. Now I want to talk about Tahiti for a minute, because I think that I would be doing all of you a big disservice to say, oh, it's easy. Qualifications are easy. It's not easy. It requires hard work, but it is 100% doable. And it is, the focus, the desire, having that on your vision board, having the intention, and also having the desire to work to get there. I know that I am working with a couple of our brand partners personally, and, on paper, gosh, it's looking really tough. But when I hear the passion in their voices, and they're calling me literally weekly, now I want to get this right. If I do this, can I get there? And I know that they're going to get there because they have that desire. Cam and I are actually going to be doing a Zoom on the Tahiti qualifications, because I know that it is tough. It is, there are some questions. And so we want to be able to go over all of those. And one of the things that we'll be talking about is, there are 2 ways to qualify. So, one of them obviously is to advance in your rank, and to do that, I believe, I want to say 2 or 3 times. Let me look at I'll have to get back to you on that. But the other way is that if you have reached officer status in the past, and maybe you have slowed down a little, maybe your momentum's not what it was, and maybe you're getting paid at like manager level. You don't have to go all the way up to senior officer and do that multiple times. There is an option where you can base it off of what your average pay for the last 6 months. And if we just ask if you can hit officer again, that's your rank. You can hit that and you can do that 2 more times. We're going to get you to Tahiti. So we're going to go into detail a little bit more. We'll let you know. We're hoping to do that next week. We may even do it on Monday's call, but we want you to know that we want to get you there. So if you have questions, always feel free to reach out to me and we can kind of put together a plan, and I'm happy to work with you to get you there. But there's a pit stop before Tahiti, and that is the Utah Ultimate Experience. Now, the Utah Ultimate Experience, we are not going to hold that till probably January, February, because we want you to come to Utah when the snow is here. We want to do some fun activities, but the qualification is going on right now. And one of the things I love about the qualification for the Utah Experience is that it is a rolling 6 months. So from the day that you start, it's your own 6 months from the day you start. There's not a hard cutoff for everyone. And that means that everyone that new that is joining has that same advantage. They have 6 months from the day that they join. Now, first, I had a funny conversation with somebody the other day, and she might be on this call, and she's one of those that I think she's going to get herself to Tahiti. And she was saying, Kristine, the Utah, I've been to Utah and I've had the trainings and I mean, that's really awesome. She goes, but that's not really an incentive for me. I want to get to Tahiti. And as we talked about it, we spoke and I said, the Utah Experience is absolutely your ticket to get to Tahiti. And what I mean by that is this is such a phenomenal recruiting tool for new people that are starting, for new people that you're signing up. And the more people that you have that qualify for this Utah Experience, it is going to get you closer to Tahiti. So it absolutely is on that path to get there. And hopefully, Chris and Todd, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Kristine, I'm going to tell you the Utah vacation is my favorite. We're bringing our top leaders to Utah that really, we've been doing it for the whole 9 years, but pre-COVID, we got to where we were bringing 100 people at a time, everybody paying their own way. The reason why we would do it is we would have a great fun day. As you can see there on the pictures, we would hike in the summer. We went on a big snowmobile trip. Chris hit a tree, almost killed himself. Aaron Decker tore his knee up. It was one of those days bucket list days you'll never forget as long as you live. So what we've done now is, and make sure everybody understands this, is anybody here can pay their way and come. I'll be paying my way and going on every single Utah trip. So if you're a leader and you've already passed your qualification time, pay your way. As soon as we get the date set, we'll start figuring out our fun event we're going to do. It's going to be a blast. But for all the brand new people who are the ones we're trying to grow their mind and help them understand what they've got their hands on, this is a real chance for anybody that breathes the right direction. I couldn't believe when they came in at such a low number. But all they have to do is make $3,000 in their first 6 months, and they literally win their airfare, their hotel room, and a couple of the meals while they're there. So that first day is fun. And then Anthony, go one more slide. The second day we're in Utah is then where you're going to go through the master class. And the master class is where we start teaching you how to optimize a position. And if you're new on here and don't really understand that, an optimized position guarantees $2,000 a week in base pay, a $500 bonus, plus matching check. So you're in a serious six-figure income. You're not flirting with $100,000 a year. You're more like 150-ish to 220 if you have 2 legs optimizing weekly. And that's where we're going to make sure you fully understand how to get that done and start participating in their walk-away residual income. And it's I'm passionate about changing people's lives from a health standpoint. We're getting ready to hear from Cindy, but I'll tell you where I'm passionate about. And I have a group of people I train every morning, but I was telling them this week, I'm 52. And the last time I woke up and had to make money to pay my bills when I was 32. So I've lived the last 20 years. I wake up and work to make more money. I mean, I can't buy anything I want to anytime I want to, but to live life, we built a residual income in network marketing 20 years ago that has followed us now for 20 years. And Chris has done the same thing. Many others on this call have done the same thing. So we want to get you in this class and really learn it. So anyway, back to you, Kristine. I'm sorry. And Anthony, you may want to say something there too. And Chris, because this trip is, and I think Brent got on. Brent was more passionate about the Utah trip than I was. And I can't contain my excitement. I don't know if Brent's with us or not.
Brent's not able to get with us. He texted me that his service is so poor he got on, but he couldn't even hear us, much less send out a signal. But yeah, listen, Todd, I think that all of us know that when we asked for the Utah experience, and we were both stunned at how, I mean, $3,000 in 6 months, if you're trying, you can do that. But it's more than just that. It's getting your team there. And I think this is going to, and I agree with you, Kristine. You want to know how to make Tahiti? Simple. Start helping your team win the trip. It'll all take care of itself. I mean, everybody wants to, it's sort of like weight loss. I'm not real good at that, but I know this, or it's like exercise with my daughter. She'll tell you can't start with 100 push-ups. You got to start with 10, and then you got to go to 20. And well, the same thing with the trips. I mean, if you get some people on this Utah experience, the Tahiti is ongoing. So you may not win the first Tahiti trip, but if you'll get this Utah experience built in, and I'm convinced you build this into your team, much as I'm excited about Tahiti, I'm with Todd. What I love about this industry is the residual income. And if you push this Utah experience on a consistent basis, everything else will take care of itself. All of them, the trips will automatically happen. And you'll be power ranking, but more importantly, your team will be growing. And that's what you'll build that residual income that you want. There's nothing, I don't care how much we talk about it. I could sit here for 20 minutes and explain putting them in Utah with the ownership and the people that started the companies. Of course, we're publicly traded now, but still the executives, and them take the time out. It's just hard to explain. I mean, I just know what I know. You don't do this 20 years without knowing that. And so when they announced this trip, I almost couldn't believe it. Kristine, I know you were a part of all that. This is, to me, I've been here with this company over 9 years, and I've been in the industry 20. To me, this is the best promotion any company has ever done, because it is, they ain't making money on this. This is about them trying to help the team and the organization to grow. So I'm pumped about it. I am very pumped about this trip, even if I did take out a tree and a snowmobile.
You know,
Kristine,
I'm on board with you guys. This one, I am the most passionate and excited about this trip because of all the reasons you just said. This is such a segue to success for yourself, to success for your team. So we are going to be putting a lot more focus on this over the next few months because it really is exciting. So
Kristine,
yeah.
I want to give you the proper introduction to this next segue. Kristine, before coming to our company, was really high up with QVC Online Shopping Network. She held the pretty thing and sold it to us on TV. But Kristine, you brought Shop Live to our company. And I think a lot of us are using it, but probably none of us are using it to the extent. And you were sharing numbers with us on the Partners Council that it's like a 10% ratio that people that show up to it are buying. So would you go through that with us, the Shop Live, and the percentage you're seeing of the people that buy?
Yeah, I will. And I know my time's almost gone, so I'm going to be quick, but if we're talking about financial benefit and immediate reward, I have not been more excited about anything than the live shopping. And not only because it is such a great tool, but because we are seeing the numbers. And it's funny that you said that I brought, shopping network, or that I brought shopping to this. I will be honest, New Age brought shopping to me. When I left the shopping world, I was like, I need to go, like, I need to do something different. And so it's so funny to me that like somehow I'm right back where I started. But for me, and you've heard me talk before, for me, my passion behind, live shopping has always been about exactly what you guys do every day. It is that over the fence sale. It is talking to your girlfriend about the favorite mascara that you used. It's about talking to your neighbor about the best fertilizer for your lawn. And what that experience does is it creates a relationship. And it's an opportunity to educate. And one thing, I can't wait to see all of you that are going to be at the Colorado Springs event, because I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about the power behind it. But let's talk about numbers. In the digital marketing space and email campaigns, you're lucky if you get like a 3% open rate on your emails. It's not very high. And we know it's a numbers game. I knew that this would be successful. I've been unbelievably blown away at once again, that you all have taken it, you've breathed life into it, you sent out that link, because it's nothing unless you guys are using it and sending out the link. So I will just let you know, we just did a show on combating wrinkles naturally with Laura Sales. The conversion rate with the live and the recorded, 15%. 15%. That is unheard of. A few weeks ago, now this was a carnival of savings, so I'm not going to use that an example, because it was something, a different thing that we had done than we've done in the past. But with that, we sold more that weekend than we do on an average auto ship weekend. When you have Kevin Mannion, the CFO, walk into your office and shake your hand, you know that he knows numbers. It was blown away by that. And why I'm excited is because that is money in your pocket. When you share the link right here, when you share this link to this Combat Wrinkles Naturally show, every single sale is attributed to you. You're not getting a portion of the volume points. You're not getting a portion of the sales. It is as if you sat down belly with someone or sold it to your next door neighbor across the street. And what's been really fun to see is how the show is growing after the live, which means people are sharing it before the show with their friends and family, but maybe their friends and family are busy. It takes a while to get through their email. They'll click on that link 2 weeks later, and you just made a sale that you didn't even know. This is literally earning money while you sleep. Now in Colorado Springs next weekend, I'll talk a little bit more about the psychology and why it works. But this is such a fabulous tool, along with, pairing it with like the Utah Ultimate Experience for people that are just brand new. And they say, I'm not very good at selling. I'm nervous. I don't really know the products yet. For right now, you don't need to. Share that link. Share that link. Let the Dr. Gingers, let the Crystal Vances, let those voices give it that third-party validation. Let them sell it. You can be the one that is sharing the opportunity. And when you feel a little more comfortable, I'll invite you on the Shop Live to do a show with me. But I could go on. I know that my time is up, but if you have not even tried it yet, I really encourage you to do it. I do need to say one more thing. We are going to do something a little bit different for this upcoming Wednesday. And it's been really cool so far. Every little thing that we've kind of tried has worked. We had some scheduling difficulties with our show for our Shop Live on Wednesday. Rather than canceling it and not having it at all, we are actually going to rebroadcast our very first show, which was Gut Health, which I will say, outside of the Carnival of Savings show, was our highest performing show. But as Anthony was just showing you on the website, it can only show so many on the first page. So you have to scroll down. So we are going to rebroadcast it as if it is new. I'm going to give you all the information. We're going to be sending out the show guide because I am convinced that you will make just as much money as if we put out a new show. So what that also is an opportunity for you is we are going to be putting together a guide that has all of the shows on one flyer with a link to the show guide, which gives you some assets of as how to sell it. So don't just think about it of every week I have to share this live show. You can go back through the library and build your business toward, this week I'm going to focus on this and I'm going to share this show link. So I don't want to take up any more time, but we really want to play with it. So join us.
Anthony, can you pull that back up for us real quick? Because this is really important. And probably the majority of you here this morning know this already, but all of the recorded ones that are sitting there, the one that Kristine just mentioned, the wrinkle one, but if you scroll down just a little bit, you're going to see when Anthony scrolls down, the recorded ones are there. You can literally, and by the way, Anthony's logging into his X office. When you log into the X office and you go to New Age office, over on the left-hand side, it's going to say Shop Live, just in case somebody's brand new and doesn't know this.
Yeah,
Once you click on Shop Live,
tabs, any of the tabs, Shop Live is always there. You just click on Shop Live anywhere you see it. And when you click on it, you guys, you're going to see all these shows. I love about them is it always shows people like myself who didn't go to school to be a doctor, wasn't real big on nutrition like that, or don't know a lot about it, that, hey, I could just share this with my mom, with my, with my aunts, my uncles, my friends, and I could just, and even skincare. I don't know much about skincare. I can let all the talking do the work. I had a good friend of mine and she was interested in what skincare products I was using. So I sent her all the one. Every time I see something with skincare, I let them do all the work and people get started. It's very simple to use. And they're all here. As you click on them, you can always go back and get the recordings. And you can always share it at any given time. You can run campaigns for 30 days if you want to, all on skincare. And every day you just send out the same link over and over and over.
And those links that.
What was that?
You create the smart link there, Anthony, with the show. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. So when you actually see, so right here, if you click on it and I click on it, and you got Kristine that started off, it's a couple ways you could do it. You could fast forward to a specific part that you want to send it off to. But at the bottom, you'll see the 3 dots. And when you click on the 3 dots, it actually gives you the share option. But let's say I wanted to just fast forward to a certain product or something. And you can fast forward to a certain time and go back. And you can also share from that specific time that you want that person to start. So they don't have to watch the whole 30 minutes or they just want to see one product that they really, really are interested in. So you just hit that 3 dots. Again, it's at the bottom. Once you click on the video, the 3 dots, and hit share. And it will create a normal, you got a couple of options. You can text it, or you can text it, you can email it, you can whichever one works best for you.
Awesome.
It's fabulous. And like I said, they might not click on that link that day. They could click on that link a month later. You're still getting paid just the same. So I just will give you one more kind of statistic to show the power of this, and then we'll move on because I'm excited to hear the transformation stories. Lucem, we brought Lucem out, and I think one thing here at Global that we've not done great in the past that we are trying to do better is, we'll release a product, we get super excited about it, and then we move on to the next thing. Lucem is a phenomenal product, but I don't feel like we gave it as much screen time as we could have. So were the sales fine? Sure. Were they out of control? No. Were we selling out? No. We did a show on the lip and lash. We sold out now 3 months worth of forecast with just that show. And I think that show's only been live for, 3 to 4 weeks. That's the power. And the power is the power that you have to pick the products that you love, that you want to focus on, that you want to build your social media campaigns or your business around. I know, Chris, I know you're really looking at Renew right now. You could really just build it out and just be sharing those Renew shows. There's so many things you can do, and I can't wait to share more, but I just want to go back to community. It is about building the community, and there is power in numbers. And that's why network marketing is so valuable, so important, the collaboration. And I just want to thank every single one of you and tell you how unbelievably blessed I am. And I do follow you. I do watch the Level Up every day. I go in there and I watch those testimonies, and I can't stop smiling. So thank you, the whole field. And of course, Todd and Brent and Chris and all the other great leaders that are driving this momentum, because we're changing the world, and I can see it in the numbers. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you for being on this morning. We're so excited that you took the time out and got up early on your day off. I don't guess you take a day off anymore because you're always answering texts. So you're 24/7 gal now, just like the field. We're going to hold you to that. But again, we're so blessed to have you. We want you to know that. And I mean, sometimes people don't get appreciated that are behind. I don't call you behind the scenes. You're out here in the front, but my goodness, we could not do what we do and the things that are happening and the growth. Hey, you're a part of that, and we really appreciate you.
Love this partnership.
You have no idea how much. We really appreciate you. But now we're going to go to Cindy. Todd, I know you're excited about Cindy and her change and her, known Cindy for a long time, been a part of my business for 15, 16 years.
I think she was the first person you signed up, Aaron on one leg and Cindy on the other leg, is how you started your RX New Age business. But Kristine, I'm going to encourage you to put Cindy on a Shop Live, and here's why. This is really important. We are always bumping up against other things, and what a lot of people don't understand is our products can correlate with anybody's program. Meaning, if somebody's doing paleo, well, our drops and nutrifii and Renew will just help the paleo diet be even better. If somebody's doing ketogenic, then our drops and our products and our Renew and our superfoods will help keto even do better. And if somebody's doing intermittent fasting, then our products get more nutrition at the cellular level, and intermittent fasting becomes even better. So a great title one day would be intermittent fasting and keto with Cindy. She is a licensed coach. She's been to school. Believe it or not, she's 52, almost 52 years old. I know. And if you follow her post on Level Up, I wasn't going to overshoot it. So 53 years old. But for those of you out there, Cindy joined our company. She has had transformations galore on her team. But about 5 years ago, for her own body and for Travis, her future husband, Travis Falk, there in Charlotte, North Carolina, a really old friend of mine. You hit pay dirt with Travis. He's one of my favorite people in the whole world. But Cindy, she got into the keto and intermittent fasting, and combined with our products, really elevated to a whole new level. So this last 20 minutes, we're going to turn it over to you, Cindy, and you're going to go through the products to use, how you use them, and then how you incorporate the intermittent fasting. We want to know specifics. We want to know when you eat, how you eat. She shared this with Kim Gray. Many of you know Kim Gray lost like 80 something pounds, but she had plateaued. And Kim is so excited right now. She's lost 11 more pounds in the last 3 weeks since Cindy got her trained on what she's doing. So Cindy, we're going to turn it over to you.
Okay, great. Thanks for having me on. And you make me sound much better than I actually am. Chris knows I got into this industry for the business, just like Chris. I actually think I'm business oriented. I've owned my own businesses for many years. And when we joined RX, I was at a decent weight and I just wasn't that into nutrition. So it sounds crazy, but exercising to me was walking through the mall, and I also love sports. So maybe climbing some bleachers, and that was my exercise routine. So I am not some fitness guru by any means, but what happened was I went into my 40s, and like a lot of people, I went through, I had a couple surgeries. That's not a lot of people, but Chris remembers I had a couple surgeries on my leg to remove a large tumor. And they had to cut through muscle, and my muscle took a very long time to repair. So I didn't exercise. I just cut it out completely and hated everything to do with it. To be honest, I could make any excuse to not exercise before. But I also went through a lot of a few stressful years, a lot of things going on. And like a lot of people, you hit your 40s, everything slows down, your metabolism kind of isn't where it used to be. And I would gain 10 pounds a year. And within a few years, I was up 35 pounds more than I weigh right now. And right now I weigh what I weighed when I was 22 years old, and I'm 53. So it's worked out for me. But what I did was when I joined RX, New Age, I guess it's been 9 years ago. Is that right, Chris? 9 years?
Correct. A little over 9 years.
Yeah, I just wasn't I didn't really understand nutrition. I loved what Deanna Latson had to say, so I started taking a handful of the products, but my weight was basically in control at that time. And then, like I said, I went through all these changes and let myself go. I lost all my muscle tone. Everything was going crazy. And I was actually even having strange health issues popping up left and right, and decided one day I just had to fix it. So I did start back on Slenderize, but I was trying to understand the nutrition and that a little more. So I'm one of those people that if I'm going to do something, I kind of go a little overboard. And I paid thousands of dollars to go train with some of the best nutrition and healthcare people in the nation over the course of about a year, and became certified, and then certified a second time in keto and intermittent fasting, because as I looked at everything, I just really liked the health benefits I saw with those things. And so a lot of people get confused by what keto is. They think it's just a bunch of meat and cheese. Keto is actually, it is more fat than moderate protein and very low carbs, usually under 20 grams. It can be as high as 50 grams and a day. So you're very limited, but you're not limited. So it took me a little while to get it right and understand it, but I promise everybody on this that I eat probably as well as most of you, and it's not as strict as it sounds. But I found my body just ran much better on it. And I went from trying to lose weight, struggling a little bit after I got the first so many pounds off, to it just coming right off with that combination with intermittent fasting. And I would say if anything is the most important, it would be intermittent fasting. You can do intermittent fasting and follow our exact Slenderize meal, the food list is perfect for low carb and intermittent fasting. You just don't want to have high carbs really in intermittent fasting. The reason why is you will be hungry. So you're always going to be hungry when you're in the fasting mode. On average, I fast 18 to 21 hours a day. I fast as much as 48 hours and as little as 14, but usually I average every single day 18 to 21 hours without eating. So I just eat all of my calories, which I eat the normal amount of calories anybody would eat in a day, but I eat them all in a what's called an eating window. And that would be 6 hours or 4 hours. Sometimes it's 3 hour eating window. And I take pretty much everything nutrifii. So I don't take Slenderize right now. I don't need to lose any more weight. I don't take Slenderize. But Slenderize is a key if you are going to do keto and start into intermittent fasting, specifically intermittent fasting. And it just helps you with the hunger and getting through it. There's so many things. I'm trying to keep it short here, Todd, and you may want me to do something specific, but I start with the optimals if you take nothing else, you should take the optimals every day. I don't think people realize we hear all of the products are so good and what they do, one or the other does for you. But if you don't have your basic nutrition, you'll be off balance. So I think the optimals are the key to that. But I literally take, I would say everything that is nutrifii. My absolutely won't miss is the giving greens. I think that's vital. I think if you're a woman, especially in your 40s, 50s, somewhere in there, elite is key. It's got ashwagandha in it. And if you are trying to lose weight, unfortunately, women tend to carry a lot of stress, which causes high cortisol, which causes high estrogen levels, and you will not be able to let go of that weight that's on your hips, your thighs, those kind of things. And so I basically just utilize that. But once you get into intermittent fasting enough and you have enough nutrition in your system, people think you're starving. I think Kim, I talked to Kim Gray one day and she said, is this normal? I am not hungry. And she said, I haven't eaten in 20, and it was like 20 some hours, and she wasn't hungry. She's like, should I be worried? I'm like, that's normal. So once you get into, into the fasting, you're not hungry. You can watch people eating anything and you're just not hungry. I can't explain it, but it works, and it works for me. And like I said, I take all the nutrition. The Renew has been a game changer for building back the muscle because I don't eat a ton of protein. I eat moderate protein a day. But Todd, to say what I eat, I usually eat 1.5 to 2 meals a day. And it's not always perfect, but it's pretty clean. I would say at least 5 days a week. I usually eat at least 2 eggs, sometimes 3. I'll eat basically breakfast for my first meal. So I might have some bacon. I might actually have some sausage, but I tend to go with a healthier bacon and some eggs, usually avocado with that, and a green drink. So that is my typical go-to first meal. Not always. Sometimes I'm in a hurry and I don't have time for all of that. So I will improvise, we'll just say, and eat something that's a little bit of protein, some healthy fats, and some vegetables. Then for dinner, I eat what everybody else eats. I just kind of leave out the breads, whatever's carb, and the starches. So I'm not eating potatoes, I'm not eating rice, I'm not eating even quinoa, although you can do a little bit of rice or quinoa. I just avoid it. I usually eat like mashed cauliflower or cauliflower more for my starch, and I eat tons of vegetables, but I also eat steak and fish and about anything you can think of. There is a version of keto. And just to give you maybe an example, I went out for Cinco de Mayo and I had choripollo, which is 2 chicken breasts with, it has a cheese sauce and chorizo on top of it. I did a guacamole salad on the side, and I brought my own keto chips. I make them. They don't seem to mind, since they give you chips for free, that I bring my own. So that's a little weird, but I do eat that. I eat guacamole. So those are all keto friendly. Now I did have a really big, what's called a skinny, it's an oxymoron, but skinny margarita about this big, and it has some carbs in it, but it's okay because I fast 18 hours the next day and I exercise in between there. So those carbs and that sugar it's gone by noon the next day, I'd say, or 1 or 2, and doesn't really affect me anymore. So I go out to eat all the time. I'm going out tonight. I can tell you I will have oysters Rockefeller. I will have probably a filet mignon. I will have them add a tablespoon or so of butter to the top of the steak. And then I will have a salad and some sauteed vegetables with it. But I could do mahi-mahi, I could do salmon. So I can go to a restaurant and eat basically any restaurant out there and still stay within keto. And then I actually picked up some fresh strawberries at the farmer's market this morning. They were just picked this morning, so they're very fresh. And even though it doesn't sound keto, I make a keto strawberry shortcake that's to die for. It has heavy whipping cream on top of it, a little bit of keto ice cream and fresh strawberries. It's delicious. It does not taste like a diet dessert. As a matter of fact, if I feed it to someone who doesn't even know it's keto, they think it's delicious and have no idea. So I eat well. and I eat plenty, but I don't eat very often per day. And so that's really that in a nutshell. But Todd, what questions do you have, or what can I answer, I guess?
I'm going to come back in a question just for a second. Anthony, if you can, throw Tracy Ternberg up. He just recorded Cindy Farley's Renew testimony, and we're going to play that real quick for everybody. By the way, while Tracy's pulling this up, if you've got a Renew testimony and you have not hit Tracy up yet and been recorded, we've got to get that done. He's going to wear out on us by Monday or Tuesday, and you're going to miss your opportunity to be on this.
The ship has sailed on that one, Todd. I wore out yesterday. So I am having a great time with these testimonies. And the reason is, I did Cindy's a couple days ago. It posted a Level Up Life this morning. But man, I am learning so much about Renew in listening to all these different testimonies and how it affects people in so many different ways. And Cindy actually happens to be one of my favorite testimonies that we're going to play for right now.
Hi, I'm Cindy. I'm 53 years old. I have 4 grown sons and 2 granddaughters. And like many people, when I hit my 50s, I just realized how hard it was to stay toned, and also the amount of strength I had lost. And so I started working out and was seeing some fitness benefits from the workouts I was doing, but I just really was still not getting the muscle strength and tone that I wanted. And then I was introduced to this little guy right here. And this has been a total game changer for me. I started taking Renew basically at the beginning of November. And the first thing I noticed was better sleep, more energy, more stamina when I did work out. And within a few weeks, I started realizing I felt like I could do more. So for instance, with my squats, I went from doing 3 sets of 12 to now doing 5 sets of 20 and adding weights to them. So it has been a crazy journey over the last few months. And I would just recommend anybody who wants to tone up their body, this is the only thing I changed that made all the difference. So take the 28-day challenge and renew your life.
Good job.
Isn't that an amazing Renew story? Todd, what I would do, Cindy, first of all, thanks for jumping on and recording that with me this week. But one thing that I would challenge everybody that's listening to this, that's on this training this morning, is go to Level Up Life, or you can go to the YouTube if you're a YouTuber, and grab that video and share it out with 2 or 3 people today that that Cindy's story is going to resonate with. That they're in that period of life, that they're the fitness and they want that strength. Share that story, and I guarantee you're going to get a good quality prospect out of that video.
Yeah, and I tell you, as soon as you get the hit on Cindy's video, you can then go to your Shop Live and get the Renew recorded. It had John and Kristine on it, and I'll tell you what, they did. If you want to spice up a older couple's life, they will do that for you. So send that out, and then they can just buy it right off the live. So Cindy, we're down to our last 5 minutes, but I'm going to hit a couple of topics. I've been talking to you a lot that really resonated in my mind, and we're going to try to get people's questions answered real quickly. Number one, you take the nutrifii line, the omega-3, the vitamin mineral is your staple. If you're just beginning the journey, I'm sorry, John, I didn't mean older. I meant middle age. I mean, you definitely don't look older, John. John looks like he's 35, but I know you've got to be in your 40s by now. Throw John up there, Anthony. Bring him online. So if you don't know John Oakey and Christy, John is the TV personality of Omaha, Nebraska. Christy owns a couple of businesses, and they are just absolute fireballs. They just won their $10,000 check. But anything y'all want to add to Renew, John? I'll say it for you.
Yeah, we're not older couple, Todd. She's slightly older than me.
Oh, come on.
She's 54. I'm 53. I'll be 54 this year. So
And we still got it.
We still got it, Todd. Thanks to Renew. No, I say Renew truly is a game changer. It's you know, for me, if you don't know, as Todd mentioned, I get up at 2:00 in the morning for my job, which is horrible. The time and the job sometimes. But I don't get a lot of sleep, but Renew has helped me get good quality of sleep. So although it's a little amount of sleep, the quality I'm getting is a lot better than I was getting before. So that, and then plus the other, you know, side benefits as you get older, and you know what I mean? So.
And not to be off subject, John, but you and Christy were dancing on the dance floor of a cruise, and a young lady mentioned the business to y'all, and here you are a number of years later and just won your $10,000 checks. You just never know who you're standing by.
You never know when you're going to meet Deanna Latson on a cruise ship, and she convinces you need, you know, we were fat. She didn't convince us we were fat. We were fat. So yeah. So you never know. Got to listen. Always listen. You never know what might be out there for you.
Congratulations, you guys, on your $10,000 bonus. I love
Cindy,
that.
Cindy, I love your story. Great story. You're motivating us.
Thank you.
Hey, I want to make sure they've done Tracy. Tracy, if you shot their video, because
Tracy called me the other day, and I was getting ready to run out the door for some appointments. So I just told Chrissy this morning. I said, "Oh, Tracy wants us to do a video, and I have to talk to him." So
I did mine yesterday, so
Yeah.
I think I embarrassed him yesterday. We have to cut mine out.
Yeah. How was lunch, Chris? Lunch was good?
That was good.
All right.
Also, before we do go, I want to show everybody how you can get to it, you guys. So if you go over here, Tracy puts all the videos up there, but I made it very easy for everybody to grab these. If you go on over to Level Up Life, so I'm just going to open up Facebook. And then we go to Level Up Life. When you get here, again, you can find a lot of great things in the guide section, but if you go to guides, of course, we have different videos on products, but at the very bottom, the newest guide is the new Renew 28 Daily Challenge. So every time Tracy puts one here, I make sure it's all right here so everybody can just go look at them. So you got each one that he's done, all the way from Ashley, Miss Ann, Bill, Cindy. They're all there. So all you have to do is simply go over to Level Up Life and go to guides and scroll down, and you'll see all of them.
Awesome.
And then Tracy, you've got a YouTube channel too, don't you? It's called what's the YouTube channel called?
Renew 28. I'll put the link in the chats for people that are YouTubers versus Facebook people.
And thank you, Anthony and Tracy. I mean, all these little things for all of us really add up. They're not on payroll. They just do it. So thank you. Cindy, back to you. We got 3 minutes left, but so you take the nutrifii nutrition line, the omega-3, the vitamin and mineral. You take the CoQ10, the BioPro Q.
I do. And I take Magna Cal D. I take Vanali. I take that every day. So I take the majority of everything. I also do Restorix. I think Restorix is extremely important. And just so, since I noted that I drink margaritas, I do drink red wine, and I have mimosas at brunch on Sundays usually. So I'm keto, but I do it with a little bit of fun. I don't cut everything out of my life, but if I have had any alcohol whatsoever during the day, I do always make sure I take Restorix that night and the next morning. I just time it out with my stuff. It's very key, but it also it helps with that final weight loss. But I don't have, I mean, I've lost everything, and it's 50 some years old. It's very hard to lose that last 10 pounds. But it was a combination of those things that did it. And then the muscle tone, what I said in that video doesn't even do it justice. I mean, the difference in my ability to do squats, if you're a woman on this Zoom today and you know what I'm talking about, try to go do 30 squats. It about kill you, especially if you have high stress, because high cortisol levels, high levels of insulin. So insulin resistance, I had it for sure. Most people do, a lot of people do, but especially in women, because we don't have the testosterone, we have 70% less muscle fiber than a man. we tend to lose our muscle in our thighs and our rear end. And those are key as you get older. If you don't have muscle tone, and I'm not even talking about bikini, body, I'm talking about muscle tone in your thighs and your rear end, it will haunt you later in life. It'll make it hard for you to get up and down stairs, hard for you to do a lot of things. It'll affect you completely. And so I do know that, and I've been working on it, but I don't eat enough protein. And as a woman, it's very hard to gain muscle. So my goal is over the next few months with Renew is to put on a few pounds of muscle. But the one thing is I do take the liquid nutrition, but Todd, I've yelled at you for it. You already know where I'm going to go with that. The liquid nutrition it is superfoods. It is fantastic, from the noni, the moa, the limu products, all of them. But you can't drink those during your fasting window, or during the fasting period. So you have to get all that nutrition in, because it is, even though it's not, you can take supplements while you're fasting, and you can drink tea and coffee and electrolytes. But if you decide to do intermittent fasting, do not drink the nutrition drinks except for within your eating window, because they are like eating whole foods. So you kick yourself straight out. The only one I do during fasting is Renew, and it does have a couple carbs in it because of the noni. It's fine. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to kick you out. It's low enough with high enough nutrition, but you just have to watch the timing on the liquid nutritions because of the sugar content, which is all healthy sugar, but it's still sugar. So it'll still spike your insulin. It's really all about spiking your insulin and keeping it maintained.
So Cindy, I think we'll probably bring you back, because I know that this all started because Kim Gray and I both have plateaued. Like we're trying hard, and this has really catapulted us both. Really made a big difference. And I can sit down and drink a whole bottle of noni, and I drink it like it's orange juice. So But when weight loss is a goal, there are things you have to pay attention to, because you absolutely cannot spike your insulin. Once you spike your insulin for the day, you are going to have trouble losing any weight. So when you get this intermittent fasting, if that's a choice of yours, you can do the approved food list along with it. I do that, and I've Googled the keto foods, and Cindy's always pushing in our brains to eat the healthy fat. So the butter, the coconut oil, the avocado, the peanut butter is what she's got Kim Gray putting in her shake. Kim started getting hungry, so she got her drinking a mid-afternoon shake with peanut butter and the Pure Nourish in it. So any closing comments, Cindy? And if anybody's got a crazy pertinent question, throw it in the chat box and we'll try to answer it and get off.
I think my only closing comment is I've had people request it. We'll probably do a Zoom separate from the Saturday morning Zoom at some point, maybe around in the next couple weeks, just maybe a 1 hour Zoom about intermittent fasting. And keto is, it works for me. You can just do low carb. Low carb is more 50 to 75 grams of net carbs. There's a difference in how many carbs, and that will work just as well with most people, with the majority of people. So,
Cindy, what is your eating window again? That's one question that popped up. What is your exact hours?
I am anywhere from a 3 to 6 hour eating window. So,
but what times? What time do you eat first?
Anywhere around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon would be my first meal, and then I'm finished eating by 6:30. So now on Sundays, I do not worry about it. So I only have about a 14-hour fast on Sundays. I usually am eating brunch before noon. So that's the one day I take off from intermittent fasting, but every other day unless I'm traveling, I'll be traveling next week, and I don't worry about it. You just have to do what's going to work with the traveling, or try to make it squeezed in. But yeah, typically my normal days would be a 3 to 6 hour eating window. Most people starting out, if you can just do an 8 hour eating window, you're fine. Just keep all of your calories in that 8 hours. That's going to be your key.
And can you do elite during the intermittent fasting window?
Yes, I do elite. I do elite most days, almost every day. Yeah. And
Okay.
but
Gerard
you do it
Poole,
during
I see
that
he's on
window.
here. Gerard's Gerard's trying to win $1,000 from me. He's approaching 100 pounds weight loss over in South Carolina. So that boy, he gonna be intermittent fasting 3 days in a row. I know what he's up to. So congratulations, Gerard.
Someone also asked about the Renew. Could you take more than one a day? And yes, I mean, I know that people are using it, especially for exercising. My daughter does 2 a day. I drink 2 a day. I drink 1 at lunch and 1 before dinner. I'm not going to quit. I feel too much better. I can tell the difference in my body, and I am not going to quit drinking 2 a day Renews for a while anyway. Guys, oh, by the way, one more announcement. We talk about Renew. I just got a text from Kristine. I don't know if you know that she was in a race today. She went and did there's a local marathon here that's at the Strawberry Festival, and she's 37 years old, and she won the overall female in 10K. 49 minutes at a 10K. Here's the best part. That's what she said. She said the Renew did it. She's never been the overall female. She's always won her age category, but that ain't the good part. So she has her husband on Renew, and of course Castro that trains with her on Renew. So not only did Kristine walk away as the overall female, her husband walked away in his age category, and so did Castro. So the 3 Renew people won all categories in the race today. And they're not really runners. Neither is Kristine. I mean, she's not going to consider herself a runner. I mean, she does run, but that's not her thing. It's kind of funny. She said, Renew, just wait. She's going to be posting about this right now. She doesn't show me her trophy. So it'll be the Renew post about the difference. So guys, thanks for a great thing. Cindy, great to have you back working the business instead of just collecting your checks.
Yeah, I'm getting to work. I'm getting to work, Chris.
I know you are. I'm glad. Anyway, thanks for being on today. Tracy, thank you. And it was one last word I want to say, because Kristine mentioned the community, and Tracy, we're not connected financially. I mean, Cindy is certainly, you already heard, my first sponsorship in the company other than Aaron. This community, and Tracy and I talked about this yesterday, guys, really be a part of it, because what's happening is you've got so many people working together to build an amazing company. And don't let ego get in your way, and don't let problem. I see Art Lee on. We got so many leaders on here. I'm afraid to start calling name. Of course, the Okies joined us. There are so many leaders across the country. Guys, we work together. We can do something very, very special. And I saw a video this morning that showed a turtle on his back and couldn't get turned back over. And I saw a group of I don't know if y'all saw that posted on Facebook. I thought it was really good. And a group of other turtles all got around so he could get his leg over, and they pushed him back over. Guys, this community is going to do something special over the next couple of years. That's one of the reasons I'm continuing to work. I'm excited. I'm getting text messages from my new group in Kentucky. It's just, guys, exciting right now. I'm excited, even though I'm tired, and from all the things that are happening. So, guys, have a great Saturday. Anthony, we never do these things. You amaze me. You're the bomb. I mean, and again, not tied to Anthony in any way, but he always have already in my room before I get here. I already got the room opened up and ready to roll. Guys, special times for those who take advantage of it. Thanks for being on Saturday. Next Saturday, for those in Colorado Springs, we have somebody here. Looking forward to seeing you guys in Colorado Springs. If you've got anybody in the Denver area, anybody in that Colorado Springs area, you need to get the details on that and make sure you got people there. It's going to be a great weekend next weekend. We're looking forward to it with all that group out there. Anything else, Coach? Tracy? Anthony? We're running over today, guys. Apologize. Good stuff. Cindy, thank you. We will look forward to your hours about intermittent fasting. So that sounds really cool. Talk to y'all later.
Thanks so much, folks.
Thank you. Great call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is
Thanks,
great.
Awesome day.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Anthony.
Love this